Today we're talking about the new Disney origin story for Cruella de Vil. So let's talk about if it's worth your watch. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Justin. I love to watch movies. If you guys love to watch movies like I do, you guys are in the right spot. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up and coming content. A live action feature film following the exploits of Cruella de Vil, the villain from the Disney film 101 Dalmatians. I've been looking forward to Cruella for quite some time. I think Cruella de Vil is one of the best Disney villains, and 101 Dalmatians too is a really good Disney animated film. I thought Emma Stone is an absolute perfect choice for a younger Cruella de Vil. So finally it hits Disney Plus Premium, so you could check it out in theaters or you could check it out on Disney Plus, but you have to pay $30 to check it out. Emma Stone plays Estella. She is a young girl that's into fashion. She's talented in creating designs for dresses and outfits. She wishes to become a fashion designer, but life seems intent on making sure her dreams never come true. She ends up penniless and orphaned in London at the age of 12. She runs into Horace and Jasper, and the three of them act as amateur thieves. So not only is this an origin story for Cruella, but we do get Horace and Jasper in the movie. Horace is played by Paul Walter Hauser and Jasper is played by Joel Fry. Also starring in the film as the Baroness is Emma Thompson. So this movie has a really good cast, and this movie is really good. I enjoyed Cruella for what it was. Lengthy, yes. 2 hours and 14 minutes for an origin story of Cruella de Vil. That is too long for me. But overall, it's a film that is very stylish, and the constant back and forth between Emma Stone and Emma Thompson is electric. Estella wants to be like the Baroness. She demands certain things. She gets what she wants. Her presence is felt whenever she is at an event. And Estella wants that for herself. She wants to be a fashion designer. She wants to be innovative. She wants to kind of push the boundaries on creating these different designs. Estella starts to learn things of her past and learn why she became an orphan, and that kind of starts the transition of her being Estella into Cruella. In the early scenes too, we saw her when she was very young and she was at a school, and she acted as Cruella. So she has this different persona. She's Estella, but she also has this alter ego as Cruella. But in the movie, it's more of Cruella. The Cruella character that Estella has created is starting to take over. See all these big events that the Baroness is holding, and Cruella goes to make a statement about fashion and all the things that she's creating havoc in the Baroness's world, and they try to put an end to everything that Cruella is doing. Emma Stone is devilishly good. She provides such a chilling performance. She had this drive. She wanted to create all these great fashion designs, but when she acted as Cruella, she was so good at it. And it wasn't like the Cruella we knew from the 101 Dalmatians. That one was like a crazy over-the-top kind of character. But we started to get little hints at that. But the more that Estella worked with the Baroness was kind of starting to rub off on Cruella, and she wanted to demand things. She kind of wanted to act like her, but in her own way, in trying to create these different fashion statements and trying to interrupt different events that were going on. When Emma Stone is acting as Cruella, it's amazing. I think that there's such potential for sequels and remake of 101 Dalmatians with Emma Stone headlining it, because she acted the villain part so well. And it's not like the classic villain that we know. The origin story of it is handled so well. And Emma Thompson as the Baroness is equally just as good. Very intimidating character, very fierce. Like I said, gets whatever she wants, and that kind of inspired Cruella a little bit to act that way. But that constant back and forth is electric. They are trying to outdo each other, constantly trying to get answers of who is Cruella, and also trying to steal things from the Baroness as well. And their relationship takes up a majority of the movie. And so I wasn't expecting Emma Thompson's character to be in this movie as much as she was, but I loved when both of them were together because that friction between the two is easily the best thing in the movie. Another perfect casting is Paul Walter Hauser as Horace. Looks the part, very funny in the movie as well, and he has a really great relationship with Joel Fry's character, Jasper. They had really great chemistry in the movie. They really seemed like a great duo, the henchmen of Cruella. And I like their approach for these characters as well, because they're not just their henchmen that's going to do whatever Cruella says. They're their own people. And if Cruella is doing something that they don't approve of, they'll tell her. They'll tell her straight to her face that, you know, we don't want to work with you anymore because of the way that you're acting. This movie gave these two characters a little more personality and a little more backbone, and I love that. This is a great looking film. I could easily see this movie being nominated for costume designs and set design as well, because the costumes, the outfits, they're beautiful. They look great. There's so many times that this movie calls for a costume change, something really vibrant and out there. They have to be big and bold and send this message, because that's the kind of character Cruella is. And we know her as a fashion designer. And in the movie, she's a fashion designer, so she has to create these designs that is going to attract a lot of people. So I could easily see this being nominated and possibly even winning for costume design, because the costumes are put together very well and they fit the characters. Now, the length of the movie, 2 hours and 14 minutes, is a little bit long for an origin story, I will admit. There were some times about middle half of the movie, a little bit earlier than that too, that it seemed to drag a lot and kind of seemed a little bit repetitive with Estella's everyday life with Horace and Jasper. It could have moved a little bit quicker to get to the more sinister moments for Cruella, and they had a lot of setup for Estella's character and her job and her being an orphan and her meeting Horace and Jasper. They spent a lot of time on that, and I do think that those moments are integral to the overall story of Cruella. But when I look at the overall story of Cruella, I'm more drawn to her making these fashion statements, interrupting these events, being the villain that we know, much more than, hey, this is when I met Horace and Jasper. These are the moments when I was younger with my mother. They really tried to humanize this character in the beginning, and it's hard to kind of sympathize with her, especially knowing the fact that she wants to skin dogs for outfits. But they try their best to make this character have a personality and feelings, and you kind of care for her and you understand the way that she acts certain times, not every single time, but sometimes. So it's kind of weird to kind of humanize this character when we've seen her for so many years yelling and trying to kill dogs. It's a weird choice, and we'll see what kind of route they take Cruella in the future, knowing that she is surrounded by dogs in this movie too. So I'm curious to see what they're going to be doing moving forward. I know that they've talked about possibly a sequel and a remake of 101 Dalmatians as well. Curious to see what they're going to do with kind of what Cruella is known for in the 101 Dalmatians movie. But Cruella, really good film. I love the performances and the constant back and forth between Emma Stone and Emma Thompson. The best performances with the movie. The casting is really great. It looks beautiful. The costume designs, the set locations all fit this movie. The soundtrack is very upbeat and very electric. It was a little bit lengthy at times, I will give it that, but I could push through it and really get invested in Cruella's origin story and looking forward to the future and what they do with the character. I'm gonna go ahead and give Cruella a B. Thank you guys for checking my review for Cruella. Have you guys seen it by chance? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the film, and stay tuned for more up and coming content. My name is Justin Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.